What's up, everybody? My name is Erin, and welcome to the Mad Maker Studio, and welcome back to Monsters of Little Haven. We are on the Esme chapter. It's like I feel like she should be like a finale piece, but I think you can't grasp the full story unless you experience all of the endings. So I'm hoping we get answers. I'm hoping we get to read this freaking diary she has. Okay, everybody, you got your snacks, got your blankets, let's roll.
Esme picked up a small pebble, leaned over the well, threw it there, and whispered something. "Well, what are you doing?" "Nothing." "How can you not believe yourself?" "Well, sometimes it is hard to believe, even in the most ordinary things. I feel like I'm sleeping now." "What do you want to see to believe?" As soon as Esme finished the sentence, they heard a terrifying hubbub below. The ground trembled under their feet. Kenneth pulled Esme closer to him, trying to hide her from the coming uncertainty. "Oh, you know what this is?" An evil grin appeared on Esme's face. "I just want you to believe me." A pillar of living darkness rushed from the well, eclipsing the sky.
Oh, dang. I like how the dots in the eyes look like eyeballs.
Old masonry succumbed to the pressure of the unknown and fell to the ground in pieces. Kenneth pulled Esme closer to the ground and covered her. A horrific scream was spreading throughout the neighborhood. "What's this?" "Look!" Kenneth was looking up at the seemingly endless stream of darkness until he saw the silhouettes of ravens. Kenneth was terrified. Esme jumped up and stood with her back to the well. "What's happening?" Kenneth got up but was afraid to come closer. It seemed to Kenneth that Esme's eyes were filled with fire. "You know everything."
What's with the change in your tone, Missy?
"What do you mean? What is this all about?" "You could have prevented it if you believed me."
Oh no. Oh, it was already real enough, but it's getting extra real right now.
"It's not my fault." "No, no, no."
Oh no, she's angry.
Esme waved her hand, and a pillar of ravens immediately repeated her gesture, knocking Kenneth off his feet, as if she was in complete control of them. Kenneth was flung a couple of meters to the side. "All you had to do was trust me, just for once." After leaving the well, the ravens flew into the sky and began to circle around the Murphy family plot. "Sorry." "What difference does it make now? It's too late." "Why is it late? What can I do to make you forgive me?" "Come to me."
I don't like that voice you're giving me, and your eyes got real big.
Kenneth walked over to Esme, standing on the edge of the well.
Oh no, she's saying come be a ghost with me.
"Stand beside me."
Oh, I don't want to, but I don't think we have a choice. I'm less excited about this chapter than when we started it.
"Oh, it's dangerous. Get off."
Oh my gosh.
Esme got angry. "Trust me just for once." Kenneth climbed to the edge of the old well and took Esme's hand. What's next? Don't you understand anything? Kenneth decided to bring the situation under control, seized Esme, and tried to get down from the flimsy masonry of the well.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, oh no, oh no.
However, once he tried to move, he froze in the air. Kenneth couldn't move a finger. Esme giggled.
Oh no, we're in trouble.
What is happening? I'm not doing anything. It's all your fault. Esme recoiled from Kenneth, who was stuck in the air between the well and the ground. Let me go! I said I was sorry! How did you do it? Esme defiantly rolled her eyes. I'm telling you, I have nothing to do with it.
Is this... I'm real concerned that we're gonna die at the end of this chapter, but also, is this Esme's way of forcing Kenneth to confront his monster head on?
What do you want? Esme waved her hand toward Kenneth, who was carried back to the edge of the well. What if I told you Baloo was alive?
Oh, no, we're gonna die.
Would you believe me? Enough! Here we go again. I'm such a little girl. This is all my fantasy, right?
A great face.
Kenneth got angry and couldn't help himself. Yes! Esme sadly moved her gaze to the floor. I'm sorry. He tried to approach Esme again, but something held him back. I just saw his grave. You say bad things. You hear that? Somewhere in the distance, he heard Baloo's barking.
Oh no, they're too close to the veil.
Kenneth froze, numb from head to toe. Are you still in doubt? It was definitely Baloo's barking. Kenneth could not have confused it with anything else. Kenneth fell to his knees, clutching his head, trying to drown out the soul-rending barking. Esme's face changed. I'm sorry, brother. Come on. I just wanted to teach you a lesson. I thought it would be fun.
Well, it wasn't fun, Esme. It was terrifying.
Look, he's coming this way. Kenneth didn't know what to expect from Esme, but he was tired of what was happening, so he just watched. See him? It was dark. Kenneth couldn't see anything. Don't scare him off. He's just afraid of monsters.
No, we're already... Got 4 more endings to reach. How did he get here?
Well, how did it end up here? Show him the collar. Esme, please. Just trust me. Well, that's enough. This is his grave. Kenneth pointed to a rickety hill with a small cross he had made himself. No one is there. See for yourself. With excitement, Esme fell on her knees beside the grave and began to scatter stones with earth to the side. Stop it!
Oh yeah, because in this timeline, The father never confessed that they had Baloo euthanized for a tumor that he had.
Kenneth rushed to Esme's side, but it was too late. When he came up, Baloo's grave had been excavated. What? But he was here. I told you.
I feel like the choices people would gravitate to most, or the most people would gravitate to first, would be like what we're doing right now, which would make me incredibly confused. But I already have a lot of information from the left side of the flowchart tree that kind of explains, but I don't know. I really think, yeah, you need to have all the endings to get a full story, or as close to a full story as you can get.
He just ran away. There was a noise from the side of the bushes, revealing someone's presence. Take off the collar. Show it to him. Kenneth awkwardly unhooked the collar from his backpack and clutched it in his hand, staring into the darkness. Don't be afraid. Give it to him. Kenneth knelt down and gently moved his hand with the collar towards the bushes. It became quiet. Nothing happened. Kenneth turned his head to Esme, giving her a questioning look. Wait, he's just scared. Suddenly, out of the darkness, he heard leaves rustling and stomping of the dog's paws. Kenneth got knocked down. It was Baloo. Baloo! Baloo! Kenneth was filled with tears of joy. Baloo threw him on his back and licked his face, wagging his tail. Oh, stop it, Baloo! Kenneth got to his feet, picking up the fallen collar.
Now, can Kenneth just see ghosts, or did we actually die back there?
He tried to put it around Baloo's neck, but he was jumping around Kenneth as hard as he could. Hold him! Let's put the collar on! After they managed to put the collar on Baloo, the three of them sat down on the ground. Well, I'm sorry I didn't believe you. I'm not upset anymore.
Oh, thank goodness.
It was dawning. Kenneth couldn't stop looking at Baloo. Oh, you must be very hungry. Let's go inside. We have to show you to Mom. The noise came from the side of the pier. Now, Baloo will help us. Come, quickly. Esme and Kenneth walked carefully to the entrance of the shed. Near the wound-up boat sat, crouching, a huge, hunched monster, like a locust, and it was looking for something in the water. Kenneth, standing behind him, was holding Baloo in his arms, who was growling softly at the monster, but the noise of the running engine was muffling it. Hey, monster, look who we brought! The monster began to turn slowly. Kenneth caught his breath. The monster noticed Baloo in Kenneth's arms, let out an animal cry, and backed away, falling directly on the blades of the wound-up boat.
What?
Kenneth and Esme were splattered with the viscous, dark contents of a once powerful monster.
And the dad is dead, and there's Esme's hair bow in the water.
Oh, good boy, Baloo. Mother and the people behind her, in police uniforms, ran to the noise near the shed. As soon as they saw the pier, they froze with terror in their eyes. One of the younger policemen ran out of the shed. There was the sound of his stomach emptying. Others just wrinkled their faces and covered noses with their hands. Kenneth, put that on the floor.
What are you holding, Kenneth?
Mom, Esme and I found Baloo.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no.
He helped us scare the monster that had attacked her. Let go of Baloo. Brenda walked over to Kenneth and helped him to put the fetid body of Baloo on the ground, and then took him to the door and closed it so that he would no longer look at the pier.
Kenneth is not right in the head right now.
Mom, I got worms crawling all over my hands. Kenneth cried. It's okay. Let's shake your hands. Brenda was trying to calm Kenneth and herself, despite what she just saw. Police radios were buzzing. Where's Esme? Where was Baloo taken to? Get Dad to send everyone away. Brenda began to cry.
Now I'm back on the path of... I don't know anymore, man.
The police cars and the ambulance gathered around the plot of the Murphy family.
Oh. What? Oh, that was rough. Let's look at our chapters real quick. Okay, so we got the monster and so there should be another ending to Esme. Then we should get 2 endings for whatever this is. Whew, okay. All right, let's try this. Let's try to get a different ending down Esme's chapter. Maybe we just need to click on Esme and go straight for it. Go back in the house.
Chapter, Esme.
Or no, we are on the walk. Okay, let's just fast forward a little bit.
Don't scare him off. He's just afraid of monsters.
Okay, all right, so this took us down the road of insanity. Esme, enough.
Esme, enough. Baloo is dead. Esme had tears in her eyes. It's not fair. You can't say that. The ravens screamed in the sky, scattering in different directions. The sun was coming up. How can you be sure? A grave is all you need to believe in death. They don't bury the living and don't place crosses over them. The raven's screams were replaced by the singing of a couple of mourning birds. Kenneth finally jumped off the well. You didn't see his body. You said it. You also said that Baloo had probably run away. I saw. At first, I didn't want to believe, and then to upset you. What else did you see? What do you mean? What did you see at the pier?
Oh, okay, so she's trying to trigger his memory.
Kenneth's eyes were moist. Oh, why do you... What did you see? Kenneth cried, giving snatches of conversation between sobs. A monster, or something else. It looked like a dog or a wolf. Esme approached Kenneth and gave him a big hug. I'm sorry. I had to prevent it. Well, it's not your fault at all. I didn't teach you how to swim. Don't blame yourself. Esme waited for Kenneth to calm down. What did you see? I saw you.
Oh, coming to grips with it. Okay, so we went hardcore denial and embraced our insanity, and now we are accepting what we saw finally and coming to grips with reality.
You were in the water and not breathing, just like Baloo. Just like Baloo. They heard a noise from the pier. Is it him again? Let's go stone him. Kenneth wiped away his tears. Don't. It's time to go home. Mom's probably worried sick. In despair, Kenneth reached out to Esme. Let's go. It was the fox, the monster from the shed, which you showered with stones. But never hit. I agree. Kenneth and Esme chuckled over this, as far as it was appropriate. Esme smiled. You need to be more careful, and don't lose my diary. Well, what do you mean? Close your eyes. What for? I'll tell you a secret. Kenneth, insanely tired of experienced emotions, did just what Esme had asked. Kenneth closed his eyes and felt Esme hugging him tightly with her small arms and pressing him as hard as she could. Esme whispered, I love you.
Oh, my heart.
Kenneth was afraid to open his eyes. A smile appeared on his face. What kind of secret is it? I know that. It's not a secret. The secret is that I'm your monster.
Oh my gosh, that is brilliant.
Kenneth quickly opened his eyes, but there was no one in front of him. The singing of birds, the sound of a motorboat from the pier, and the sound of someone banging with the instruments mixed up in his head. Kenneth went to the pier. It was still a little dark. Dad was sitting near the boat, doing something with the engine, starting and stopping it periodically. The blades of the engine were right in front of his face.
Yep, and we all saw how that turned out last time.
Bram saw Kenneth standing behind him. Bram turned, and his silhouette transformed from a gnarled locust into something broad-shouldered, powerfully overhanging Kenneth. Kenneth looked around the pier, trying to figure out what was going on. Bram was clearly in a hurry. Kenneth thought he was up to something. What are you doing here? Why'd you wake up so early?
I never went to sleep.
I came to the noise of the boat. Kenneth flinched. He noticed Esme's bow in the water near the boat. Because of your mischief, a fishing net got into the water and wrapped around the blades. Bram nodded in the direction of the net pieces that he had unhooked. The shortness of breath gave out his tiredness. Well, what about the knife? Kenneth nodded toward the junk on the floor. Well, this knife? The net is not a clothesline. There's got to be a pruner somewhere, a red one. Kenneth immediately remembered where he threw it, when this evening he had been throwing all that came to hand into the darkness. I'll look around. Kenneth pretended to be puzzled by the search while his father tried to free the blades of the motor from the fishing net. But he knew what to do. He found the pruner, hid it in his pocket, and headed for the exit. Did you find it? You're not going to yell, are you? Speak. I think I dropped it in the water last night. Bram frowned. You'll get it, won't you? I think it's where Esme's bow is floating. Get out of here. Kenneth backed away. After making sure Dad was distracted, Kenneth ran toward the house. Kenneth ran into the house and walked over to the window in the kitchen. Mother was sitting at the table with huge circles under her eyes. It seemed she didn't sleep at all. What's the matter? How are you feeling? She spoke slowly, and part of her words seemed to be addressed to no one. It was dawn outside. I have something to tell you. Have you seen Esme today? Yes, but she's missing. Missing. She wanted you to have it. Kenneth took his backpack off his shoulders, took out the diary, and handed it to his mother. Kenneth, Esme's not missing. Oh, you should read this. There was a sound of cars briskly approaching the plot and slamming doors. Brenda kept her eyes on Esme's diary. Kenneth looked out of the window and watched his mother. A group of policemen ran to the noise in the shed where Bram was desperately trying to start the boat. There was a fuss. Kenneth looked at his mother, waiting for her reaction. Brenda looked toward the window, at Kenneth, and then she continued to read the diary. The police were heading towards the house. Brenda wiped a tear from her cheek and turned the page of Esme's diary. Mom, stop crying, please. Don't worry, sugar. A group of policemen entered the house. When they saw a mother and son talking, they showed Brenda that they could wait. Today, we'll go to Grandma. She's waiting for us. Really? Really. I'm sure you'll get along with Drag, her new dog. No more dogs. You don't have to love it. I don't want anything. Brenda approached Kenneth and gave him a hug. You should sleep. Well, I can't sleep without Esme. Kenneth became hysterical and, bursting into tears, ran to the second floor, where he fell on Esme's cold pillow and buried his face into it. Although Kenneth was sleepy, He tried his best to keep his word. He wouldn't be able to sleep without Esme. Kenneth listened to what was happening. He heard the door closing on the first floor, and a few minutes later, the sound of cars leaving. Someone went upstairs to the nursery. Kenneth quickly turned his face to the wall in a protest. Mother came into the room. "Can't sleep?" Kenneth snuffled his nose. "Me neither."
Oh.
Brenda walked over to Esme's bed, lay down on it, and gently pressed herself against Kenneth, hugging him. Brenda began humming a familiar tune.
Oh, is she singing again because the monster's gone now? Oh, together you will get through this.
Kenneth was already falling asleep when he asked a question. Do you think Esme won't be coming back?" Holding the lump in her throat, Brenda continued to hum her lullaby. The house of the Murphy family fell asleep.
Well, that was the least violent ending that we've had. Yeah, the least. I was going to say, well, the dad, when the very first playthrough, he just left, but there was that bloody fox. So no, this was the least violent ending. Or run through. Wow. Whew. 6 out of 8 endings. All right. We've got 2 more to go, and they're all in here. I'm going to leave this episode of Havens of Little Monster here. Thank you so much for joining me. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I hope to see you next time, especially as we embark on the last episode of Monsters of Little Haven.